Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everybody. This is Hafsa Shahzada, the Managing Director for Fatma Hope and Psychological Center. I welcome you all to today's new course, an international certificate course we are having titled Play Therapy. And the instructor for today's course is Miss Mavish Khan, aka she has her own international name as well. Miss, 1 minute, ma'am. So sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Nafisa Nausheen Khan, right? So she's an MSc in psychology.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just introducing the course and our organization. Then you can start your class, okay, ma'am? Okay, ma'am. I will just continue the introductions. Then you can start your class, okay? So Miss Mavish Khan is a master's in psychology from the UK. She's also a practicing child psychologist and a professional psychotherapist and NLP practitioner. तो वो आज ही session लेंगी and on play therapy, and you guys will be having this course over the next couple of weeks. तो पहले थोड़ा सा organization के बारे में भी बता दूँ. So Fatma Hope Psychological Center is an internationally certified organization working in both psychology and social as a social organization as well. So Fatma Hope Psychological Center भी पाकिस्तान में काफ़ी एक्टिव रहा है. इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर भी हम लोग प्राइमरली ये मिशन से आए थे. We have to spread the message of hope in all our operations, because without hope there is no success, there is no achievement, and there is no mission. That said, Fatma Hope Psychological Center also offers international plus national courses, internships in psychology, nutrition and diet as well. And हम लोग ने international काफी courses किए in hypnosis as well as hypnotherapy, NLP, both for students as well as for a master practitioner course. हम लोग ने diet and nutrition का course भी for students as well as for practitioners offered here, and we have done a DPT course and CBT course as well. So we are operating all over Pakistan in all cities, but primarily Sambal, Karachi, Lahore, Rawalpindi, and Multan and Gujranwala. These are a couple of cities where we have had our on-site internships. ठीक है, क्या कहते हैं, with hospitals, so they are right now ongoing as well. In fact, और साथ साथ हमारी ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप्स भी होती हैं. हमारे जो कोर्सेज ऑफर भी करते हैं ऑनलाइन होते हैं. हमारे वीकली ऑनलाइन webinars भी होते हैं, where both national as well as international. So without any further ado, I'll just let you know that the CEO and founder of Fatma Psychology Center is Sir Tayyib Murtaza, and he is the one who set up this whole idea more than 2 years ago for changing the mindset as well as the system of youth and empowering them to find their own path, success, खुद रीच करें, अपने own a dream achieve करें, और हमारे आगे भी इंशाल्लाह कोशिश है कि और ज़्यादा हमारे लोगों की हेल्प कर सकें as a non-profit organization to help other people, inshallah. Sorry, as a private organization. So without any further ado, I will let Ms. Mavish start her session. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible? Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, but your voice is quite low.
Is it fine now?
A bit more, ma'am.
I guess now it should be proper. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Hafsa, for the lovely introduction and your time. And also, thanks a lot for Mr. Tayyib Murtaza for giving me this opportunity to present myself. Well, I will try, because I was going through the comments. Okay, so people were like, try to talk in Urdu, that would be much better. So Inshallah, I'll try my best to speak in Urdu and English, but in case if you do not understand anything, you're free to ask me. ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं typical Urdu में जाऊं. All right. So I guess like Ms. Hafsa has already given my intro. My name is Nafisa Naushin Khan and also known as Mehwish Khan. And I'm a child psychologist, psychotherapist, and everything that you guys have read. So not wasting too much of time, let's proceed with play therapy. This is a very interesting topic, especially for the people who are been working with children. So yes, let's proceed. All right. So today in this session, I would be covering what is play therapy, different models of play therapy. Different models of play therapy, play interview, structured play therapy using puppets for assessment, and beginning and ending phases of play therapy. All right. मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि that I would be targeting the audience जो कि from psychological background and also a layman can understand this. All right. So basically, what is my target for this session would be like, you know, we will delve into the merits of play therapy. I would मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं ज़्यादा like, you know, I would highlight the roles of enhancing the children's well-being and fostering a healthy environment. Well, yeah, before proceeding to the slide, can someone tell me what exactly you mean by play? What is play? I want one word answers if you can. What do you understand by play? Jaldi, 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 jaldi. There are how many participants? Fun, having fun, yes. Khel, khel. All right, khel is the other name for play. All right. Activity, all right. People who are awake can only reply me. Sleeping people can proceed with the sleeping. Creative thing, enjoyment, development, enjoy, entertainment, getting relaxed time. Enjoy, fun, creativity, pleasure activity, motion, free from every burden, activity for enjoyment, growth time. Awesome, awesome. So basically all of you here, you know that ki play kya hai, right? When we think about play, you know, the smile, the entertainment, the enjoyment that we get, it's kind of a break that we take from our hectic life, right? So here it's the same. Thank you so much for everyone who participated. All right, so let's begin. Yes, this is play that makes us feel better, that makes us feel relaxed, happy. बच्चों के साथ बच्चे, I'm sorry, I can't read this. Brain relax activities, pleasure, emotions. Yes. All right. So basically here play is kind of a space that we meet, our imaginations meets the reality. Yes, we have seen many a times like, you know, jab hum chess khelte, you know, I hope many of you must be knowing the game of chess. That's kind of really very interesting, wherein we assume ourselves to have different hello, am I audible? I'm sorry, there was a network issue from
Yes,
here.
you are audible.
All right. In case I'm not, please do inform me. All right. All right. So play here means the imagination and reality, right? Normally. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fine. So what do we do usually? हम जब खेलते हैं तो हम अपने आप को एक अलग दुनिया में लेके जाते हैं, right? We try to assume ourselves कि हम बहुत सारी like, you know, जैसे कि मोनोपोली गेम हो गया या चेस हो गया, wherein like, you know, हम लोग की दो kingdoms होती हैं, and we have been having like, you know, the game of chess, the game of rulers, the game of kingship, right? All right. And then play also expands, it gives us self-expression. What exactly like self-expression is like giving one's feelings, thoughts, self-knowledge, जो कि हम अपने आप को understand करने की कोशिश करते हैं. It's like visualizing, exploring ourselves, looking into our own skills. All right. Self-actualization क्या है? It's kind of the realization of fulfillment. All right. Self-efficacy. What's that? What's self-efficacy? What do you mean by this? People who are hearing can answer me fast. Self-actualization means satisfaction. Self-resilience means self-positive, self-efficacy. See, expression is kind of, we have been understanding our own expressions, our own feelings, right? Self-knowledge is something we have been trying to understand our motives. We are visualizing, we are exploring our passion, we are looking into our skills. Self-actualization comes into realization or fulfillment of our own talents. All right. And self-efficacy means the efficiency, the capacity that we feel. Refers to individual's belief in his or her. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Miss Hamna. Very good. All right. So this is like, this play usually gives us relief from stress and boredom and connects us to the people in a positive way. All right. That boosts our emotion, regulates our emotions, exploration, and whatnot. So basically, we feel really happy when we are being into play. All right. Okay, what is therapy now? What do you mean by therapy? What is therapy? It's like talking to a trained person, understanding how do we feel better at tough times during when we have been facing challenges. Yes. All right. So what do you mean by therapy here? Therapy can be a helpful tool in managing stress, depression, or other emotional issues that we have. Therapy means healing. Form of treatment that aims to resolve emotional and growth, relief and heal disorder. Yes. Create bonding with the client. Very good. Rehabilitation. All right. So therapy can be a helpful tool in managing stress, anxiety, depression, or other emotional issues that we have. All right. By not using any kind of medications. All right. So here usually play. So basically what does play therapy means? It is kind of a dynamic or highly effective form of psychotherapy. ठीक है, जब हम लोग बच्चों के साथ काम करते हैं, it's very difficult to work with them just asking them questions, because जैसे when we do counseling with the adults and when we have been working with the children, it really gets harder for times wherein हम उनके साथ communicate नहीं कर सकते. They do not answer us in a direct way. Direct approach उनके साथ काम नहीं करता. So that is the time when we actually bring the play therapy in between. It's kind of a very effective psychotherapy जो हम usually बच्चों के साथ use करते हैं. We have been using and it's been into trend, a full trend these days. ठीक है, especially with child psychologists हम बहुत ज़्यादा play therapy use करते हैं, especially when the child comes to us and it's really hard for us to understand what exactly he must be going through. All right. So yes, it would be kind of a structured environment that we usually give during the play therapy experiences. All right. So what do you mean that what exactly could be play for children? Can you see the image? I hope if you can see the image over here. If you people are using phone or laptop, can you have a look at the image over here? All right. So what do you see in this image? You can see there is a boy who's been having his own wings. He's been so creative. Can you see the robot made of cardboard boxes? So this is basically like, ये जो बच्चे अपने imaginative play जो खेलते हैं, जो उसके अंदर अपने आप को they unlock their creativity, all right, their problem solving skills. They need ample of time and space to be themselves, right, without any interruption of adults in between. We have seen, right, जो हम लोग जब बच्चों के साथ काम करते हैं या बच्चों के साथ like when we play with them, we usually come across and we see that like how like effective they have been playing, and then when we try to interrupt them in between and they're like, we are busy. Yes, we see this kind of communication between the children. All right. So yes, Can you see this image wherein, like, you know, different types of children, like we have been given different names. Yahan pe you can see there's a girl who is busy with her dreams. She's been looking out of the window. ये एक different types of play therapy है. Different types of plays है यहाँ पे, wherein हम अलग-अलग बच्चों को अलग-अलग चीजें करते हुए देख रहे हैं, right? कोई unoccupied है, कोई अपने आप में, like, you know, they have been playing with the dragon and the robot. कोई सिर्फ देख रहा है, कोई, like, you know, ड्राइंग कर रहा है एक दूसरे के साथ, like, you know, they have been having their own parallel play. कोई एसोसिएटिव प्ले में है, कोई कोऑपरेटिव प्ले में है. सही है. So we have different types of plays that we get into. We see, like, you know, जो different types के बच्चे जो खेलते हैं. All right. So there are, like, you know, when we have been into a structured environment जहाँ पे हम play therapy को start करते हैं. All right. So basically, we would be looking into, like, you know, there are different models of play therapy. So what are those different models? Let's study them. Okay. One of the important model, like जो बहुत सारे psychologists, like child psychologists, we usually you know, practice is that, like, you know, child-centered play therapy. This was been developed by Virginia Axline, and it's based on Carl Rogan's client-centered therapy. Am I going very fast? If yes, please let me know so that I slow down and I go. Am I very fast? Yes, 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 yes. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So yes, I'll limit my speed. All right. So basically, जो child-centered therapy होती है, it is, like, you know, it's kind of a non-directive play. यहाँ पे हम लोग बच्चों को लीड करने देते हैं, like, you know, for example, if there is, we give them tons of like, you know, different types of toys जहाँ पे we allow them to select and lead the play. For example, अगर बच्चा कोई कार choose करता है, like, you know, एक truck choose करता है, car choose करता है, and we just, like, you know, give them space wherein, like, you know, they can tell them कि ये कार कहाँ जा रही है, किसके साथ जा रही है. So it goes on, like, you know, जैसे बच्चा शुरुआत करता है तो we just get into, like, you know, the play. So usually ये वाली थेरेपी में ऐसा होता है मॉडल में, wherein the child leads and the therapy follows. Therapist follows them, and we provide unconditional, you know, active listening without any kind of judgment. And it is, like, you know, we give also kind of, you know, positive reinforcements for the child. All right, thank you, Saifullah. Yeah, miss, thank you. All right. So now I'm not going to cover like, you know, all the models, because in a limited time, I'm just trying to finish as much as possible. But yes, I have a lot of things for the question round. So yeah, so this is like child centered therapy, जो कि usually हम लोग बच्चों को startup करने के लिए बोलते हैं. They lead the show and the therapist follows them. All right. And this is one more. The other one is filial therapy. All right. This I don't go into, like, you know, from where did the name come from and all those pattern. I just try to cut it short. Okay. So this approach usually यहाँ पे क्या होता है, like, you know, usually we train the parents. All right. Basically यहाँ पे parent को train करते हैं हम लोग to have. I can't hear. आवाज नहीं आ रहा. Hello. Am I not audible? I can't hear anything. Is it like I'm not audible for everyone, or is it with? All right, all right. I guess there should be problem with the one or two, but all right. Thank you. Okay. So filial therapy usually यहाँ पे हम लोग parent को train करते हैं, like, you know, kind of they play as a therapeutic agents for us. All right. So in this, like, you know, the parents actually be our agents, and like, you know, the trained. All right. Okay. So here, like, training the people, training the parents here would actually help us to build a strong emotional connection between the child and address the behavioral issues. तो usually ऐसा होता है कि ये जो therapist होते हैं, ये normally parent को यहाँ पे train करते हैं, and it is, like, you know, the parent actually gives us the feedback from their children. All right, you can see the image over here, wherein the father is been leading, and the child has been getting along with them. So basically यहाँ पे ये भी होता है कि ये बहुत ज्यादा emotional, a strong emotional connection built up करता है parent के साथ. All right, okay. So the third one would be the Gestalt approach. If I guess if students are here from students or psychologists who are from here in Gestalt therapy, agar pata ho to what exactly is Gestalt therapy, let me give you a short intro. This is basically Gestalt therapy usually focuses on the present moment rather than the past experiences. Okay? So यहाँ पे Gestalt therapy integrates the elements of it focuses on helping the child become more aware of their thoughts, all right, feelings and behaviors through creative and expressive activities. So usually we try to focus on the present moment rather getting into the past using Gestalt therapy. All right. So यहाँ पे this is basically the idea where people have been influenced by their present environment, wherein each individual works to achieve the personal growth and balance. So it's kind of unconditional love, empathy, and acceptance. Is this point clear, or do you need more explanation for this? Sorry. Express the inner feelings. Yeah. Is this Gestalt play therapy? Is it? All right. Okay. See, basically, let me tell you what exactly Gestalt play therapy is. It's basically this therapy focuses more on the present moment rather than the past experiences. ठीक है? तो हम लोग बेसिकली क्या करते हैं, बच्चों के ऊपर जो फोकस करते हैं, हम लोग उनको प्रेजेंट मूवमेंट के बारे में अवेयर करते हैं, उनकी थॉट्स, उनकी फीलिंग्स, उनकी बिहेवियर्स थ्रू क्रिएटिव एंड एक्सप्रेसिव एक्टिविटीज. ऑलराइट, is it fine to go? Usually this focuses on unconditional empathy and acceptance. Conscious awareness, yes, you get into, yes. All right, now there is another one called TheraPlay. All right, so TheraPlay is kind of a structured and attachment-based play therapy model. ठीक है, ये usually focus करता है secured attachment between the child and the caregiver through playful interactions. If you see the image, it gives you normally जब हम kindergarten के बच्चों से relate करते हैं, या फिर if you have come across most of the children, वो लोग बहुत ज्यादा they are very rigid or reluctant किसी नए इंसान से बात करने के लिए, they cry a lot. I think the majority of us might have seen or experienced that कि जब भी kindergarten के बच्चे होते हैं, बहुत सारे, बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं first, second, third day. All right, usually they cry a lot, and it takes time for them to. I do not understand Halim Akbar, what exactly that means. So yes, usually क्या होता है कि जब तो we try, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे बच्चों को anxiety issues होते हैं during the first day of the school, and sometimes it so happens that उनका worst experience भी count करता है. So yes, I guess आवाज नहीं आ रही है. Okay. TheraPlay I have not yet finished. I'm still doing with it. All right. So, yeah. See, basically, एक छोटा सा example I would give you for the TheraPlay is structured and attachment based play therapy. Usually, हम जब kindergarten के बच्चों से relate करते हैं, alright, ये बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा रोते हैं during the first or second day of the school, alright, or else we can say the entire week of the school. यहाँ पे कुछ बच्चे they get settled down very fast, but कुछ बच्चे they take a hell lot of time to get adjusted with the school environment. And in case यहाँ पे अगर suppose they have the worst or bad experiences, then this goes a long way. Usually ऐसी जगह पर बच्चों को बहुत time लगता है to have a bonding with any new person in between. I am trying my best to speak in Urdu as much as I can, but I am here to मैं repeat करने की काफी ज्यादा कोशिश करूंगी. All right. So yes, I guess I have like I have been given a good example for Theraplay, and I think that is good to go. So usually here examples Theraplay and Salah therapy are similar. Then no, they are similar. Theraplay and filial therapy are not similar because therapy is usually being a bonding between the therapist and between the child, wherein filial therapy जो होती है वो usually parent को train करते हैं यहाँ पे, okay, so that they conduct the session and the caregiver or the therapist would be looking at them. All right, they would be observing, it would be under observation, and usually everything would be structured it would be structured by the therapist, and it would be sorry yeah filial therapy may usually parent play as an agent, all right, and they are the one who lead, okay, and wherein with the therapy जो होता है यहाँ पे जो है this is like the therapist, it helps to create the bonding between the child and also with the therapist. All right. Okay. So this were the three models that I could cover as of now, wherein we have a lot of models and approaches for play therapy that we would be working upon. So usually the choice often depends upon the therapist. All right. So usually हम क्या करते हैं, हम choose करते हैं which therapy models that usually works best for us, and then we go ahead with that. All right. So usually हम लोग यहाँ पे customized plans बनाते हैं, wherein what exactly is the issue, because at times what happens is that the child will never cooperate with us at times, wherein बहुत ज़्यादा rigidity होती है, so we try to go ahead with the filial therapy approach also with them. ठीक है? All right. So now the next thing in the chart was play interview. What exactly is a play interview, and why do we need to start ahead with that? Usually play interview is kind of like हम बच्चे को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं in their own way. हम बहुत सारी different we usually talk with the parent and we get to know what exactly is the liking of the child, and हम लोग variety of toys उनके सामने रखते हैं, so that and then we go on and asking them the questions and trying to get the information that we have been looking forward for them. All right. Usually ये वाली जो information होती है we try to gain insights into the child's inner world, what exactly are we what we have been trying to look forward for them, and what would be our issues with the child that we can proceed forward with. Any questions with the play interview? So far, so good. Some sort of assessment, yes, we will be having a kind of assessment that would be done, but usually it is like you need to have a kind of space wherein and different kind of toys in order to understand what exactly a child must be going through. All right, so basically again the play interview is having specific toys or materials or themes that immerse the child into emotions they express during the play session. All right. So next would be a structured therapeutic approach. What exactly do you mean by structured therapeutic approach? Basically यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं we have our own structured plan कि हम exactly बच्चे से क्या expect कर रहे हैं, and we try to give, it's like we the therapist actually leads over here. Okay, for example following the direction to assemble toys like jigsaw puzzle है या फिर Lego puzzles होती है या sports है like okay, yeah, we also try to give them cricket or football or try to play board games with them, जो कि एक structured and organized play होता है. All right. So yeah, usually this helps us to express their thoughts or feelings and experiences through play in a structured and intentional way. This type of psychotherapy is usually that the children may have difficulty in communicating their emotions and new issues verbally, especially when they are expressing stress, trauma, or developmental challenges. Okay, so usually यहाँ पे traditional talk therapy it doesn't works out, wherein we try to have them allow them to go through the structured play, क्योंकि बच्चे काफी time पे open up नहीं होते. So that is the time when we actually have a kind of structured play for them, and we we lead and the children will follow. Ma'am, in play interview, we can judge that what the child wants to do in future or not. Usually it's not about what we are not been again judging in play interview. We are actually trying to analyze कि बच्चे में problem क्या है, or how we can help them in future. Okay, हमारे goal setting क्या होगी in that. So it's not that what the child wants to become in the future, but it is basically trying to target the issues the child is going through and he is not able to verbally express the problems. All right. Okay. Okay. A structured play therapy, is it? What do you want me to explain again? Structured play therapy? Structured play therapy. All right. See, usually मैं structured play therapy की आपको examples देती हूँ, like जैसे कि Lego blocks हो गए, या फिर फुटबॉल है, क्रिकेट है. इट इज बेसिकली हम एज एन थेरेपिस्ट हम लोग एक स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं वेर इन द चाइल्ड हैज टू फॉलो. इफ यू सी द इमेज ओवर हियर, यहाँ पे द थेरेपिस्ट इज लीडिंग वेर इन द चाइल्ड जो है वो फॉलो कर रहा है. ऑल राइट, the child is been following what the therapist has been instructing them. All right. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि this usually helps the children to express their thoughts and feelings and experiences through play in a structured and intentional manner. ठीक है, जैसे कि we have been asking them to do the Lego blocks, we have been making a house and the child is also following us to make the house. All right. If we have been doing with a football or cricket, or we have been also playing with the board games like Ludo ho gaya, snakes and ladders ho gaya. Okay, यहाँ पे we try to have a rapport building with the child, and also we have been talking and trying to understand the emotions the child is not able to verbally express. Usually ये structured play approach हम तब use करते हैं wherein जहाँ पर बच्चा जल्दी से lead नहीं कर रहा है. All right, he is not able to lead the show. So that is the time. Yes, we can use indoor games, we can use outdoor games, any games. Usually you will get to know during the play interview कि बच्चे को क्या पसंद है. So according to that you usually go ahead with them. All right. Okay, so this is one of the very interesting topic you can say, wherein using puppets in the assessments. This is kind of we actually get a lot of insights when we have been dealing with the puppets. क्योंकि जब बच्चे they do not talk to adults, they usually get very friendly जब हम उनके साथ puppet से शुरुआत करते हैं. ठीक है. So usually like using puppets for assessment is it actually involves therapeutic tool for us. It gives a lot of insights and thoughts and expressions during जब हम उनसे बात करते हैं. Yes, outdoor games also. See, usually play, when the word we have been using play, it includes almost everything that you feel you can get the better results from the child. All right, so it can be indoor, outdoor, जो भी आपको अच्छा लगता है. ठीक है, even yeah. So yes, now when we have been using with the puppets, usually बच्चों का response जब हमारी setting में when we have been experienced, we really get very good results when we have been talking with puppets. जब बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा introvert होते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा बोलने के लिए they think a lot. Have a puppet. Name of the puppet is Killer. Yeah, that's true. Yes. Miss Hafsa, could you please mute, because there's a lot of sound. I'm not able to. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not able, there was a lot of disturbance in between.
Yes, ma'am. There was some internet
All right.
issues from someone else's end, but you continue now, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Kindly. Yes, there is an age limit. Like, usually जब हम play therapy करते हैं, तो we have like, from 3 to 12 years. Okay, basically this play therapy works a lot with children who are like, who do not express themselves, who are always shy, introvert, or doesn't open up easily. ठीक है, तो उनके लिए play puppet therapy, like, puppet plays a very good tool in order to express the child's emotions and experiences. ठीक है? It also allows them to communicate and express themselves through play rather than traditional talk therapy, जहाँ पे हम पूछते हैं बच्चों को. It goes into like, they involve a lot when we are doing with the puppets play. All right. So now there are like, different ways wherein हम लोग puppet we try to use puppets. That is basically like, we are trying to facilitate communication wherein, जहाँ पे हम बच्चों की feelings express करने की कोशिश करते हैं, like, directly through words. हम एक non-threatening environment उनको provide करते हैं wherein like, and we represent the puppets as in like, themselves, or and the therapist can gain the access to the inner child. All right. And then projecting emotions, jahan pe, is it like, facilitating 3 to 12 years? Yes. Okay. So is facilitating communication, did you people understand, or do you want me to go again? All right. So I will take it like you guys have understood. All right. So projecting emotions. All right. Normally children, बच्चे जो है, like, they often project their emotions or experiences, conflicts into puppets. Like, जब वो बात करते हैं, usually they don't say that he has hurt me or she has hurt me, या फिर like, what they have been going through. Yeah. So most of the times जब puppets होते हैं, तो वो लोग अपनी inner whatever they have been hiding, or whatever like, feelings or scenarios that they are going through, so they try to open a lot. Okay. Usually ये projecting emotions, it actually gives us a very valuable insight into the emotional state the child is or he must be facing through. Building rapport, observing behavior. Yes. Usually jab hum, when we initiate with the puppets, we usually see that like, what kind of puppet the child actually loves to. While taking the puppets, we usually see that what kind of puppet the child usually likes to, chooses, or like, how he starts up with the session, or what exactly he's been, trying to communicate. Like, we keep a variety of range of puppets, and then like, we allow the child to choose one, and also like, then lead the play with it. Okay, so building rapport, yes, this as I have told you earlier, like, puppet can be a very useful tool for us. It actually acts like a bridge between the therapist and the child. So usually like, जब हम puppet से ये करते हैं, तो बच्चे बहुत comfortably open होते हैं, even in spite like, if their parents are not around, and when we have been having a talk therapy using the puppet, they usually helps us a lot. Is that like, my voice not clear again? Is it clear? It's clear. So maybe like, if it's all right, thank you. Okay. Now okay, assessing play therapy. No, ma'am, it's clear. Assessing play therapy by, and normally how do we assess the play themes? All right. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि like, हम recurring themes and patterns को analyze करते हैं, जो कि during puppet play में like, we try to analyze and identify. Usually यहाँ पे क्या होता है like, like we usually see underlying with the assessing play therapy play themes, we try to analyze the patterns that the child has been trying to play with. We try to identify the underlying issues or the conflicts the child must be going through, or the information the child has been giving during the process of the play. No, this is not wrong. Usually, हम puppets बच्चों को दे it's not that we are only giving with the puppets. If you see the image in this, we are equally having the time with the therapist. All right. So the child has been spending the time wherein the child has been leading. पपेट हम यहाँ पे एज अ टूल यूज कर रहे हैं. ऑलराइट, हम सिर्फ उनको खेलने के लिए नहीं दे रहे, हम उनको पपेट चूज करने के लिए दे रहे हैं, सो दैट द चाइल्ड स्टार्ट्स initiates the session and then we go ahead with them. All right. So then it goes with tailoring the interventions. So usually through puppet play assessment hum log as a therapist we approach a subsequent therapy sessions. Okay, it actually allows us to design a particular intervention and activities that we can address for the child to go ahead with the specific need or the challenges that the child is going through. So jab hum puppet play, usually when we use that we get to know a lot of insights wherein कि कौन से emotions या turbulence या disturbances से एक बच्चा गुजर रहा है, and this actually helps us कि हमारी आगे की जो interventions है that we can plan it according to the child's needs. All right. So usually this is kind of puppet assessment has been kind of a very valuable technique. Okay, जहाँ पे हम बच्चों की अंडरस्टैंडिंग को, उनकी इमोशनल एंड साइकोलॉजिकल वेलबींग को अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. हम एज एन थेरेपिस्ट उनके साथ कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एक बॉन्ड, एक रैपो बिल्डिंग बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्टिव होता है इससे. ऑलराइट, उनको पपेट देख के ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं. यस, पपेट देख के ऑब्जर्व करने से ज्यादा इट इज you allow them to choose a puppet that they like to, and then they have to. It's not that कि वो लोग they have been having an unstructured play, but yes, you will allow them to lead, and then you would be observing them in the same way parallelly. All right. Yes. All right. Now, it's how do we plan our beginning and ending sessions in the therapy? Okay. So this actually plays a very vital role जब हम start करते हैं with play interview, and then अगर हम puppets use करते हैं as an assessment tool for them. So usually it is very important for us to understand कि हमारा beginning और ending phases क्या होंगे. Unlike any psychological assessments, यहाँ पर भी in a play therapy also we try to analyze what are the crucial components in a therapeutic process. ठीक है, जो कि हमारी therapy को we try to give it a strong foundation in providing a supportive closure and help maximize the benefits of the play therapy. Okay, for the child's emotional well-being. All right. So this is something यहाँ पे in this session we actually try to work with the child to understand with the session that we have been seeing from starting with the play interview, then proceeding with the using puppets as an assessment and having different modalities that we have been using for the child. All right. So after that, it is also the therapist job wherein how are we going to do the beginning and ending of the session. All right, कि अगर बच्चे को बहुत ज्यादा anxiety issues है. All right, so how are we gonna address those issues and what would be our future plan with them? Yes. So usually the beginning phases are being divided into the 4 settings. All right, so it's engagement and rapport building. Usually यहाँ पे the beginning phase जो कि हम focus करते हैं is building a strong therapeutic relationship with the child. तो हम यहाँ पे ज्यादा ये कोशिश करते हैं कि हमारा trust और rapport जो है is very crucial for the एक effective play therapy के लिए. Then we also try to create a safe and welcoming environment for the child wherein the child feels comfortable and express themselves through the play. All right. So this is the first thing is engagement and the rapport building that we have been done with. Okay. Now, second would be the assessment and the evaluation, wherein, as I have told you, ki like, you can use the puppet. Also, like, it builds a very strong tool for you to understand, for assessing a child. And then the second goes with, like, during this phase, usually we try to gather the information about the child's background. जब हम असेसमेंट और इवैल्यूएशन करते हैं बिगनिंग फेज में, तो हमारा गोल होता है कि लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड द चाइल्ड्स बैकग्राउंड, टू अंडरस्टैंड द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द करंट कंसर्न्स. ओके, देन हम वेरियस असेसमेंट टूल्स या ऑब्जर्वेशंस या इंटरव्यूज हम प्लान करते हैं, सो दैट लाइक हम चाइल्ड की इमोशनल एंड साइकोलॉजिकल वेलबींग को, नीड्स को अंडरस्टैंड करें. Okay, and then this actually helps us to have a developed a tailored plan jo ki that will address the child specific issues. All right, then after this we will also be focusing on understanding setting goals. अब जैसे हम लोग की अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई, लेकिन रैपो बिल्डिंग हो गया, असेसमेंट और इवैल्यूएशन हो गया, तो हमको यहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीजें वी हैव ऑलरेडी अंडरस्टूड कि एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आर वी गोना टारगेट एट. एंड नाउ जब हमको पता चल गया कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर द इश्यूज दैट वी हैव बीन गोइंग थ्रू, वी कैन फॉरवर्ड विद सेटिंग अप गोल्स. Okay, so what kind of goals that we are been going to go? Usually, as a therapist, we or the parents, we try to take input from the parents or the caregivers, from the school, wherein the child has issues. Okay, and from the parents we gather maximum information that's been actually we require. फिर इसके बाद हम क्या करते हैं, we try to have therapeutic goals. We try to set right with clear direction for the therapy. Okay, and try to measure the progress. हमारे usually goals जो है, it should be SMART. All right, SMART goals is wherein the S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for relevant, and the T stands for time bound. All right, so when we have been setting the goals, we have to do that. Ki our goals should be SMART bounded. That is, again, I repeat. Okay, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for relevant, and T stands for time bound. तो जब हम ये चीजों को एनालाइज करते हैं और अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, तो हमारे लिए सेटिंग गोल्स becomes very easy to go ahead with. All right. Now, last is establishing boundaries. All right. So when we have understood setting the goals in a smarter way, then we proceed forward with having essentials to understand and establish clear boundaries and guidelines. Okay, in जो कि हमारी therapeutic sessions में होनी चाहिए. Okay, the child learns about the therapeutic process यहाँ पे, what to expect, including the limits of the confidentiality and the roles of both therapist and the child. ठीक है, तो usually क्या होता है कि as in it's very important for us to understand the boundaries, wherein कुछ जगह it gets tougher for the child to कुछ खाना है? Can you please mute yourselves? Thank you. All right. Is it like the beginning phase so far so good? Can I proceed with the ending phase? Any questions until now? All right. Fine. Yes, yes, please, you can ask Miss Samsung. All right, you can ask a question. Yes, it is possible. The parent, they do not give us exact information, but when we see with the play therapy, it actually gives us a lot of insights. काफी बार ऐसे भी होता है हमारे साथ, wherein the parent do not speak up but the child actually speaks a lot. हमको बहुत सारी information जो है parent के अलावा सिवाय we also get it from the child while doing the session. ठीक है, तो पेरेंट्स बहुत सारी चीजें बोलते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें बताते हैं. ऑल राइट, हम लोग के वी हैड अ केस वेर इन एक ADHD चाइल्ड था. ऑल राइट, एंड ही यूज्ड टू स्पीक अ लॉट. तो उसमें ये था कि पेरेंट्स हैड रियली द वेरी false story of the parent, like बहुत सारी चीजें misleading वाली information they used to give it to us, wherein the child actually told a lot of things, wherein after जब हमारा session खत्म हुआ, तो it was the mother actually admitted कि yes, that was a fact. So it usually happens wherein the parents at times they give a misleading information. जैसे कि हम लोग हमारे सेंटर पे हम काफी क्लियर रखते हैं कि कि no parent will smack or beat the child, या फिर कोई abusive language नहीं यूज करते. तो ऐसे situations में क्या होता है parents they actually lie and say that कि हम तो कभी नहीं मारते बच्चे को, बच्चा तो स्कूल से सीख रहा है, या हम कभी कोई bad words नहीं यूज करते घर पे, बच्चा जो है स्कूल से सीख रहा है. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग एक्चुअली जब हम बच्चे से प्ले इंटरव्यू करते हैं विदाउट द पेरेंट एट टाइम्स, ऑलराइट, तो इन दैट द चाइल्ड एक्चुअली opens up and speaks up a lot of information it gives, wherein the parents do not give. All right. In my home, listen and understand but only not talk. Miss Amir, I think this question I will give you later, because it's kind of a case and we have been only talking with the play therapy, so this would be not relevant with the topic as of now. How can we handle a stubborn child? How can we build rapport with that child? Again, you need to go ahead with giving the child with different kinds of toys जो कि बच्चे को पसंद है. Why did the child become so stubborn? Usually there is always a story behind the stubborn child. There is always a story that's been lying for unfulfillment needs of the child, and that is the reason why there is a result of stubborn child. So rapport building is basically आपको पहले समझना होगा कि when is the child behaving stubborn, at what situations and why. कितने बार आपका आंसर जो है without reasoning you have been given or told them a no, a strict no, without providing a proper explanation about the no's. All right, so yes, you need to work out with the child and try to understand कि exactly बच्चे को क्या चाहिए. और usually ये जो stubborn behavior होता है ये बहुत सारे no-nos की वजह से होता है. Okay, for every question there is a no. Okay, for everything that they want to do is no. So yes, that's the reason. Or else if the child is been over pampered. All right. How do we know, how or when we know that a child needs a therapy? Usually you see every child is not the same. All right. बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं कि जो कि नॉन एक्सप्रेसिव होते हैं. स्कूल में क्या होता है वो आके बताते नहीं है. बट यू सी दैट द चाइल्ड इज ऑलवेज वेरी क्रैंकी. पहले तो बच्चा बहुत अच्छा होता था, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम विद द चाइल्ड, बट ऑल ऑफ अ सडन you see the child has developed anger issues, the child has developed violent behavior, the child is he's been peeing in the pants. All right, जो कि some behaviors जो कि आपको red flags समझ में आते हैं. All right, so in that cases wherein all right, so sorry. Okay, so during this sessions यहाँ पे बहुत सारी red flags you will try to get it, wherein all of a sudden change in the behavior, बच्चे का स्कूल जाने से मना करना, बच्चे का कोई new person से interact करने के लिए they're hesitant, reluctant. So at that times wherein you feel that yes, the child needs to undergo a kind of therapy, but before that yes, you have to talk to the concerned psychologist.
हेलो महवेश, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Hello sir, is it fine now?
जी जी अभी आ रही.
Okay, तो कहाँ से I don't know कहाँ से मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी, because I was keep on talking. So From where did from when did like मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी? It was audible. It was you are audible. All right, okay. Let's sum up. All right. So the last I would be finishing is with the ending phase. All right. So this would be, the end of the topic for today. It would be like, how would be ending the session for the play therapy. All right. So basically what do we do is that like, review and reflect. जब हम when we have been doing with the goal setting and everything, यहाँ पे हम usually discuss करते हैं with the parent, all right, कि like the progress of the child, okay, और जो बच्चे का experience हुआ है हमारे साथ. All right, so this usually try to reinforce, we try to help reinforce the child's sense of accomplishments. All right, so yes, we would get to know a lot of insights when we review and reflect during the ending phase. Like हमको लगता है कि अभी बच्चे को और ज्यादा sessions की जरूरत नहीं है. All right, and then when we go with the termination planning. Okay, so यहाँ पे what we do is that with the termination planning, we usually try to involve a discussion that's been ending and its implications. Okay, जहाँ पे बच्चे को encourage किया जाता है कि wherein they need to express their feelings. Okay, जहाँ पे concluding their therapy and if they have any concerns or the fears that's to be addressed. All right, then we also try to celebrate their accomplishments. All right. Wherein expressions of feelings, like how did they feel during and after the session, and then there would be a gradual closure जो कि we try to finish up with the session with mutual understanding and consent from the parent, and then the final session would be would be with the parent and the child, wherein we try to work with the goals that's been achieved and the marks, and that's it. And then the follow-up with the support in case if the child needs any further support. So we try to give them one free session for the follow-up and support sessions. So basically the follow-ups are for, so that's it. Yeah, this is the last, wherein the beginning and ending play usually have a crucial in establishing, I think we have been discussed, yes. So this is the last. The overall goal of the play therapy is to help children develop better coping strategies, improve their emotional well-being, and enhance their overall functioning. All right, and that's it. If now you have any questions, okay, fine. Because I was being getting distracted with the, Urdu and English. So basically, thank you so much, everyone, for your support and listening. And if you have any further questions with regards to only play therapy, so please do ask me. I'm here, and yeah, thank you. And I hope I try to make it as simple as possible and as easy as it could be. All right. Play therapy has been a magic for us and my center, because it actually it's all I usually recommend play therapy for every child psychologist, because it's so much fun and colorful and yes, very nice. All right, thank you so much. Any questions? I'm here for you. Minimum age for the child for the therapy. See, as far as we usually start with 1.5 years onwards. Like in 2 years, it actually there is no minimum age. जब तक बच्चा अगर बोलने लग रहा है, he is going to play school 2 years plus onwards. Okay, so we usually starts with interacting. So play therapy जो है वो आप we use it into the speech therapy also. So usually we use it as an eclectic approach during wherein बच्चे की delay in speech हो रही है. All right, so in delay in speech we try to use that. So usually from 2 years onwards we actually use it, but from 3 years it's been recommended. Play therapy and preferred assessment. I actually didn't get your question. Like, what is the difference between play therapy and preferred assessment? Usually, like, the duration of play therapy, we try to take it for 1 hour, 40 minutes to 1 hour. And it usually goes ahead, like, on an average with, we have a lot of sessions basically, like, it goes with, like, around 20 plus sessions. All right, कि अगर बच्चे का प्रॉब्लम की सीवियरिटी के ऊपर भी डिपेंड करता है, वरना बहुत सारे बच्चे जो है लाइक इन विद इन 20 सेशंस में लाइक we get to understand कि उनकी like what is their underlying problem, but otherwise it usually takes, और जहाँ पे issues बहुत ज़्यादा deep है, then it definitely takes them like about more than 30-40 sessions. Average will go like again usually play therapy हम जब तक नहीं बोल सकते तब तक like the child doesn't open up. So yes, average also you can go with like maybe like 8 sessions में बहुत सारी चीजें like you will get to know, but again it goes a long way. I think like I have already shown with the tools and techniques of the play therapy, like techniques or the models that you can go with that I have been explained. So yes, tools, you can use it. Tools are the toys. All right. So you can use different toys as your tools for the play therapy. All right. Okay, and tomorrow we would be discussing with like the goals and the treatment plan, and what are the like OT metaphors that we use in therapy, and also I would be giving you few case examples. Then we would be having the play therapy for children with disability and special needs, and we would be setting where and how play therapy is applied in the settings. All right. Yes, let me tell you, like play interview is basically हम लोग बच्चे के insight के ऊपर work like problem के ऊपर काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं using the toys of the choice of the child. ठीक है, तो जहाँ पे बच्चे बहुत जल्दी बोल नहीं पाते, या फिर like they are been reluctant to open up. So usually during the interview जो होता है, हम उनको उनकी choice के toys रखते हैं, like whichever they like to choose it, or then we try to understand कि what exactly the child is going through. So basically the interview is not like, wherein like we start asking the names and such, what is your name and all. It's nowhere like basic interviews that we have been having, but it is kind of like, we have been getting involved in the play and trying to get the information that we need from the child. All right. Like which color do you, for example, one of the simple example I'll give you with the play interview is like, wherein we have been trying to understand कि बच्चे का favorite color कौन सा है, ठीक है, and we have been keeping like different colors of blocks, and we have been asking, okay, I like yellow, so which one do you like, and the child chooses the color red, yellow, whatever it उसको जो भी बेहतर लगता है, like उसका जो भी favorite color होता है. So in that way, like we'll try to understand which is the favorite color of the child. So in the same way, like जो कि हमारी और ज्यादा like we can go in an intense way as well. What kind of 10 toys, please? There is a lot of toys. Okay, it goes with like बहुत सारी toys. It goes with animals, it goes with numbers. आजकल like if you have been seeing, there's a lot of autism के बच्चे जो होते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा they love the academic toys, kind of alphabets and numbers. So toys are like a wide range of toys. आप कुछ भी use कर सकते हो, कुछ भी. All right. So there is like toys are toys. There is no like kind of hard and fast rule. जैसे कि puppets हो गया, puppets is kind of like जो कि हम लोग एक assessment tool use कर रहे हैं, like in order to make the child to speak. So it's in that way. Yes, you can use any kind of toys that you like it or the child like it. So your center needs to have a lot of toys while going through with the play therapy sessions. So आपके center में बहुत सारे toys हो, having a variety, a different range and variety of toys and a colorful atmosphere so that the child actually loves to be there. All right. I guess I thought, are you saying about specific toys? No, you can use any toys in that. Not we like, but the child like. Yes, I think everybody likes the toys. So we have a lot of toys in our center as well. And it's more than the toys. Yes, I try to take with the toys that I like. I try to, visualize what exactly this child must be loving it. And then we try to get into the center. So basically, yes. Potato Head is very famous. There is there are very many modalities of the play, the play therapy that I have not actually included. Wherein there is group play therapy, there is sand play therapy, there is Jungian board. There is there are a lot of things. Even the pirate, what's that? The pirate sword, Jenga. There is a lot. Yeah, dinosaurs also are in a lot of trend these days. All right, so dinosaurs, different kind of animals. Yes. All right, thank you so much. I guess I have been done with today's session. Child emotionally attached to their toys, share things with them. According to me, it's not good. Sometimes child emotionally attached to their toys, share things with them. According to me, it's not good thing. Then what's the solution for this type of situation? You need to have a time limit set for that. When the child has been doing, when you feel that he or she is most very much emotionally attached to a specific toy, you need to have time boundaries. Okay, like if the child likes to feed the toy, all right, so you need to have a specific time boundary set right for that. It is not a one day to go. But yes, every day regularly, if you've been encourage your child that this is the only limit the child would be having to play with that toy or share this maybe the food that he's been sharing or the anything that the child likes to share with those things with those with that toy, the particular toy, you can just keep it a limit for a time bound. Try to keep a time bound for that. Yes, these days, people not every girl, they loves to play with a lot of superheroes. Yeah, there is a lot. So yes, you get to talk a lot of insights. They speak a lot. Like I'm a Spider-Man. I do this. I like to jump. I love to do. And usually, yes, a core incident I would like to also share here. Wherein while playing with the superheroes, wherein the children they try to bring the weaknesses, that they have been coming ahead, the elder brother seems to be very dominating, and at times wherein the child actually says that now I'm the strongest Spider-Man, I can beat him in this way, I can push him because I have all the powers. तो yes, ये वाली भी चीजें बहुत ज्यादा उनकी inner talk जो है they try to be more expressive during them. Okay, give any example for Gestalt play therapy. Okay, as we said that Gestalt play therapy usually focus on the present moment, all right? So it's how are you been feeling? Just when we have been using it into the toy, all right, like when we have been having toys with our, having a session with a child, a girl basically, she's been having a doll, we usually try to ask them, how is she feeling with the doll now? How is she feeling about with the environment? How is she, we try to, let the child express how is she been feeling with the moment. Jabki humko, we know from the past that the child is very anxious. She is a very anxious child. She has been bullied in the school. She's been having issues at the, in the school or whatsoever. And when doing with the Gestalt therapy, we actually try to approach her with the present moment, like how is she been feeling, and proceeding with how she evolves around with the with the therapy, with the session. Sorry. It's one more thing, regarding the Gestalt play therapy is also I would also, conclude saying that usually hamari jo, the stress, usually we have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety in the past. Okay, जो कि बच्चों में भी अक्सर आजकल बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है. It could be with the stress in the school, or it could be with the stressful environment or the disturbances between both the parents. So usually बच्चा उस time पे बहुत ज्यादा disturbed होता है. And that is why we try to create an atmosphere for the child wherein we start making him more comfortable and convenient, and proceed forward with talking to him and having a great experience at the present moment. All right, thank you so much everyone. So I guess we can end the session now. Thank you everyone for listening. Assalamu alaikum, see you tomorrow, inshallah.
जी थैंक्स महवेश, और आप सबका भी शुक्रिया, आप लोगों ने सेशन ज्वाइन किया। आप लोग अपना फीडबैक शेयर कर सकते हैं, जिसने फीडबैक शेयर करना तो वो माइक ओपन कर ले, लेकिन 1 by 1 ट्रेनर के हवाले से, आज के सेशन के हवाले से और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हवाले से।
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम।
I'm from India. I'm Ahmed
जी
Kabir.
बोलिए। जी सैफुल्लाह बोलें।
It was very a great experience. Class was very super. Can you hear me?
Your voice is not clear. Please repeat again.
I'm Ahmed Kabir from India.
Yes, Ahmed.
Class was super. Great experience. Everything is clear. Thanks for you and ma'am also.
Thanks a lot, Ahmed. Anyone other?
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.
Welcome, ma'am.
Anyone other?
And give precious time.
Your voice is not clear. Please. हमें समझो, your voice is not clear. Anyone other?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
वालेकुम सलाम। जी मारी बोलें।
I couldn't attend the whole session. Although जितना attend किया है, it was like quite informative. लेकिन is it possible कि अगर ये slides जो हैं वो group में share हो जाएं, so that जो चीजें miss हो गई हुई हैं वो एक दफा go through होके तो शायद कुछ चीजें समझ में आ जाएं?
जी आपको इन्फॉर्म कर दीजिएगा ग्रुप में अगर शेयर करनी होंगी।
Thank you so much, sir.
Anyone other? Almost 50 plus students हैं, तो I think आप सब इतना खामोश क्यों हैं?
It's fine if they can also give the written instead of. Sorry. If
Okay,
they're
okay.
not feeling to, talk, so maybe.
ओके अगर आपको इशू हो रहा है यहाँ फीडबैक शेयर करने के लिए, देन वी शेयर लिंक इन व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप वेयर यू कैन शेयर योर फीडबैक. ओके, थैंक्स अ लॉट.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, please share the slides. This class is really informative.
We will inform you in groups.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Thank you, everyone, whoever initiated for the feedbacks. Thank you so much.